This was in January, on January 2018. The chemistry department here in the campus. So there was a master student. So basically, two fingers was blown off when she doing the experiment because she didn't wear a proper PPE. And another case is on August 2018. Here in our lab, there was a PhD student. He tried to open an autoclave at around 70 or 80 degrees, and without wearing proper PPEs, no safety goggles, no lab coat, or so of course the high temperature, strong alkaline solution just splashed into his eyes. So in the end, his one eye went blind for life. Actually, I know him pretty well. He's a year ahead of me, so I feel sorry for him. Actually, he's still here in seventh floor, so I feel sorry for him every single time I see him. Because he didn't wear proper PPEs. I mean, if any of these strategy was adopted, then because like he could have opened the autoclave behind a film hood sash, or he can wear a face shield, or he can open that behind a blast shield. So if any of these was adopted, then this tragedy could have been prevented. And then the third case is on April this year. So it's like a couple weeks ago here in our lab. So someone mistook hydrofluoric acid for hydrochloric acid when preparing the aqua regia. So the glass beaker was eroded and the hydrofluoric acid spilled all over the place. So please note that this is a serious incident. It almost a lethal incident. And I just want to show you that this is a guideline from Harvard University. So actually, the guideline for the safety use of hydrofluoric acid. Actually, this is a 20 pages document on regulations for how to dealing with hydrofluoric acid. So as you can see, you have to have a sign near the storage area, and you have to have the first aid, and you have to have a spill kit nearby. And for the PPEs, you have to wear a lab coat and the apron, the acid resistant apron, and you have to wear safety goggles or face shield, and even the material of the gloves. You can see right here, the nitrile rubber gloves are not recommended for handling over 30% hydrofluoric acid. And actually, the hydrofluoric acid in our case is 48 volume percent. So here's the timeline. On February, someone purchased hydrofluoric acid following a wrong procedure. And then the hydrofluoric acid was sold in the wrong way. No sign, no first aid or spill kit nearby, and no one was properly informed. And on April, hydrofluoric acid was mistaken for hydrochloric acid. So approximately 500 or 600 hydrofluoric acid was poured into a glass beaker. And of course, the glass beaker was eroded and the hydrofluoric acid spilled all over the place. And this is the most dangerous part. So in the evening, 3 of our colleagues cleaned that up without proper PPEs, only the latex gloves on. So this is extremely lethal if, 50 milligram or more hydrofluoric acid spilled on any of these guys. We are dead. Everyone's dead. Professor Shi's dead. So please treat it as an extremely serious incident. And then finally, after 2 weeks or 2 months, Professor Shi was finally informed. So as you can see a picture, so there's a famous model called cheese model in the risk management area. So actually in the first stage, someone ordered the hydrofluoric acid online. So actually this purchase shouldn't have been made because we didn't apply for that, we didn't prepare for that, but somehow the environmental safety system online just let it happen. And then the most weird at all is that the chemical supplier just sent the lethal chemicals to us. And then the hydrofluoric acid was stored in a wrong way. If you got any questions on the safety issue, you can contact Professor Shi as soon as possible, or you can email everyone by email on any topic, anytime. And then on that morning, please read the label, okay? There's a big difference on hydrofluoric and hydrochloric, okay? So this could have been prevented. And then on that evening, so when we wonderful. So when yourself by wearing 有了吗？我刚断网啊，拍戏。So for the last stage is that everyone can just inform Professor Shi, to prevent this from happening. And so to prevent these from happening again, we adapt several prevention strategies. So the first one is for the PPEs. So from this Wednesday on, because I just placed some orders of safety goggles on LabCorp, and it was expected to arrive on this Wednesday. So these regulations will be implemented on Wednesday. So from Wednesday on, everyone must wear safety goggles when they enter the lab. So no goggles, no entry, okay? And then when you using the TRPL, so you have to wear laser goggles when you adjusting the laser beam. And then the third one is everyone must wear closed-toe shoes. It means no slippers, no sandals. And then everyone must not wear shirts, no jersey, no shirt. And then you have to put on lab coat when you're handling the hazardous, right? Acid or alkali or toxic chemicals. And the most important of all, when you open the hydrothermal, you have to put on a lab coat. All right, these 5 regulations will be implemented on this Wednesday. So as you can see, I just bought a rack for the lab coat, and then I put a chair. So in the future, there will be a lot of safety goggles on that chair. So please just grab one and enter the lab, okay? And then please just keep the door of the lab closed at all times, okay? I mean this door. Please keep it closed at all times. Because we might wear a lab coat and summer's coming. So we need the air condition. So, and then the second one is please shut the sash. Please, actually, there's a famous 18 inches rule, right? So the sash, the film hood will no longer will be out of function if you open the sash larger than 40 centimeters. So shut the sash at all times. And then some guidelines for the hazardous. Please clean up your mess. You have to wash your vials, your flasks, your beakers after you finish your experiment. And then you have to put back your chemicals to the chemical cabinet. So here's some picture took by Junwen. And as you can see, it's a mess. You have to dump your liquid waste after you finish the centrifuge. And then did you see this? This is a joke, okay? So please remember to put back your chemicals. And then another important thing is that the aqua regia hood, the aqua regia will be removed. So from this day on, there will be no aqua regia in our lab. So if you want to use it, you need to use it. Please contact Professor Xu. Okay. And then just a reminder that please don't mix the nitric acid with organic solvent. This is the safety 101. Just don't mix nitric acid with organic solvent. So here's actually a video.
This mixture of 65% nitric acid and anhydrous ethanol seems unreactive at first. After a several-minute incubation period, the mixture begins to generate heat and gases that can cause the sealed container to pressurize and rupture.
So it's extremely dangerous when you mix nitric acid and ethanol or acetone, any kind of organic solvent. So the last reminder is that we don't have to do this at NCTU, but I just want to share with you in many labs, maybe in the US or in Japan or in Korea, you have to neutralize your liquid waste. You can't just dump, pH value 10 liquid waste into the liquid waste container. You can't do that. You have to neutralize that by sodium hydroxide or hydrochloric acid to this kind of safe range, pH 5 to pH 9. So in many labs, you have to do that. But we don't have to do that in our lab. But yeah, that's it. So here's a wrap up. So wear PPEs from on Wednesday. Actually, you can do it from this day on. We got several goggles at the door. So you have to put on safety goggles on Wednesday, from Wednesday on. And no slippers, no sandals, and no shorts, no jersey. And you have to put on lab coat when you handling the hazardous, especially when you open the autoclave. And then keep the door of the lab closed at all times, and shut the sash, and clean up your mess, and the aqua regia will be removed. So that's it. And tomorrow morning, 9:30, we're gonna to dump our liquid waste. So if you can bench press over 50 kilograms, you have to be there on time. I mean, 任安、怀恩、友朋、千亿、君汉、宣宏, you have to be there on 9:30 tomorrow morning, okay? So that's it. So that's it. And I think today is Yijia's time, right? So back to you, Vincent.